and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this evening. Hope this evening finds you well. It is Tuesday. It's one day closer to the Scottish Cup final, the 25th of May. 25th of May. I'm just waiting on everybody catching up. There we go. And they're even Baz. Why is it not starting? Oh, there we go. Refresh the page and it'll come up. Wait till those pesky YouTube things. There we go, we're in. We are live and we're all good to go. Right, first up, Stephen Kennedy. Good evening, Baz. Good evening, fellow Tims. Tam Max in the house. Jim F. Evening, Baz. We are one day closer. One day closer to the Scottish Cup final. And an MSP. An MSP is... an MSP has decided to come out and publicly, you would expect one of them to do it, to be honest. But I'm going to tell you why the Celtic party, unofficial title party, was probably worth more to Glasgow than 34,000. If it cost them 34,000 to clean up, they need to look at their costs of street sweepers. I've seen events recently in Alicante City where their team went up and they had similar street parties. I've seen stuff in Barcelona, I've seen stuff in Madrid over the years, and I've seen Celtic fans all around Europe create a mess, and football fans all over the world do it. No one complains about the mess because the money that's made by the bars, the shops in and around that area, I mean, it was all drink, bottles, and things that were left all rubbish. So they had to be bought at a shop. And I bet you it cost a lot more than 34 grand in revenue. So that's why I think the cost, an MSP for Glasgow Shettleston has heavily criticised the unofficial Celtic party at the Tron Gate. Fuck them. Just another raging Hyundai. Ooh, I wish it was Sunday. Ooh, just my fun day. It's just another raging Hyundai. Yeah, that's all it is. 34 grand. If they think that that's no money well spent within the city, if it cost them 35 grand to get a couple of street sweepers out, it means that they've not got the right equipment. Because I see street sweeper machines come out and clean up the roads within. We have fiestas here in Spain, and there's probably about as much mess created at these fiestas. And as soon as the fiesta is finished, the town council, when people are starting to depart, come on with air blowers, these leaf blowers and street sweepers, and clean the streets immediately. And there's no way does it cost this crazy amount of money that Glasgow City Council are saying it costs. Anyway, let's get into some of the did you hear Baz? The zombies as usual. Yeah, we heard that. I was there. The aftermath was disgraceful. How was it Doogie? How go and explain why it was disgraceful. Go and explain that, because I stay in a country. I'm a Stephen, I'm not here to sing. I'm not here to sing, mate. They use the place like toilets, animals. I stay in a country where they have fiestas, right? And these fiestas are probably just as big in some parts of Spain, if not bigger, than what the Celtic event was, right? And it's got to be said, they don't complain about the mess. They don't complain about stuff and litter on. They just get on with it, clean it up. But the problem being in Scotland was it probably wasn't cleaned up until about a day later, right? It's where in other countries they predict that it's going to happen and they clean it up pretty much straight after it. I can remember being in Amsterdam when we played Ajax the 2 seasons in a row. I can remember being in Amsterdam, and as soon as the Celtic fans left the square in Amsterdam and started heading to the game, the street cleaners move in. What's the problem? What is the problem? Everybody in the UK and everybody everybody in the UK is just wants to be fucking offended. Oh, they're offended by the mess. They're offended by people having fun. They're not thinking about, well, if it's 34 grand to clean it up, right? How many fans were there? How much drink was bought? It was way more than 34 grand's worth of drink bought. It was probably 34 grams of cocaine bought in the fucking square. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. And I just think that, people need to stop being offended. And I'm going to read through the comments, and I bet there's probably a few people offended at me saying that they're offended because there's a mess. If you're offended at a mess, there's something far wrong with you, right? You need to get a life. As far as I'm concerned, if you're offended and you're outraged at the mess, if you're offended and outraged at a mess, you need to live in countries where people enjoy themselves, and when they enjoy themselves, they make a mess, and the town council just gets on with it and cleans up, and there's no bad press about it. So get over it, because next week, if Celtic win, there'll be a set of fans that'll go on the riot in Glasgow. And let me see how many people are offended next week if that happens. Let me see all the people that are offended online at the mess in Glasgow. Let me see if they're just offended when there's thousands of upset fans running riot because their team's been beaten in the Scottish Cup final against Celtic. It's just a prediction. Let's hope it doesn't. Well, no, let's hope it does come true, because then it means Celtic's won. And if Celtic's won, they won't be happy and they'll go out and riot. That's to be said. It's as simple as that. Anyway, let's jump into the comment section and see how you all are this evening. First up is Stephen Kennedy. Spoke to him. Jim F. Gordon Crouch. Stephen Shitter. David Cousinhouse from Louisiana, the good old USA. Con Dillinson, good evening. Ali Boy, 1888. Evening Baz. K. Is in the house. Grilla Maniela. David Bell, Paul McEwen, and Michelle, Ian Baz, and Philip Timms. Hazel's in the house. Also, how are you this evening? Hazel, William McGrindle is also in the house. Jamesy Boy is coming in from West Sussex. John Milne, Gordon Crouch. Tam Max, 25,000 fans, 19 arrests. Massive crime that day, eh? Bitter rats. I mean, the rest were probably for over exuberance. I mean, I do find the whole thing about getting arrested at these things a bit bizarre. Especially when it doesn't. I can compare it over the last 4 years to massive fiestas in Spain, right? And when I'm talking and they do street parties on a different level here. There was a nightclub in the town that I stay near, right? There was a nightclub having its 6th birthday party. They got the street closed for the full day, and they built a stage in the street, and the whole town partied in the street. That's the difference. That is the difference, right? And nobody complains about it. As soon as it's finished, the stage is brought down, the place is cleaned up. You come along at 9 o'clock the next morning, you would never have known what went on the day before. They have foam parties in the streets here during the summer for fiestas. People in the UK just need to get a grip. You either want to fucking be morbid as fuck and don't enjoy yourself and live in a Tory fucking shithole, which you currently do, or you want to be a country that's maybe a little bit forward thinking and outward thinking, and then put a smile on the fucking face of it. Jesus Christ, man. It astounds me that people are offended and upset at people enjoying themselves. And that's what the UK and Scotland's turned into. Anyway, Kevin is late again. Patrick McLaughlin says, I'm hearing Edward is a done. Fuck off. Edward. No. I'm not buying that one, Patrick McLaughlin. French Eddie to come back to Celtic. Is that... He's done nothing. Can Celtic get the best out of a player that they did years ago? It doesn't always work out for players. This is going to go the same way all summer. I mean, last summer it was Kieran Tierney was coming back, and everyone, Kieran's going out on loan. He's going to go to Celtic. No, he wasn't. He was wanting to go to Spain. He wanted to enjoy the Spanish lifestyle. French Eddie, does he see that as a forward movement going back to Spain, going back to Scotland? I don't buy it. 2021 was a disgrace. Yes, it was. But there were images of some Celtic fans having a little rumble about, but it was nothing on it was one guy, wasn't it? It was one guy. There's about 20 videos of the one guy going around. Anyway, Go Baz says extensive 100. Yep, even Baz and fellow Tims, hope we're good. Stephen Geddes says, this is the week, Baz, no next week. This week, Baz, no next week. Yeah, no, it's this week. That's next week. Well, it's next week. And Spain's a week ahead of us. It is a Spain. It is a week ahead of us. It is. Just another. Uh, it's just because Celtic supporters they are complaining. Yes, of course it is, Paul. Anything to do with anything Catholic in that country. And I tell you one thing: when I see the Catholic fiestas here that they have in Spain, I feel cheated. Brought up Catholic in Scotland. I tell you, they do it on a different level. They do Catholicism on a different level here in Spain. Completely different level. Huns clutching at anything they can. They need to get the statues protected from who? Yeah. Scott Wilson says they're offended because they're jealous. Yeah, they are. And for coming in from Cowden Beef. Morning Baz says Desmond Donnelly from the other side of the world. Joseph, Baz, what a load of rubbish. You're right, Baz. Only Glasgow Council can clean the rest of Glasgow. Their workers are fighting through the rats. Yeah. Yeah, and if only they would get the rest of Glasgow just as clean. Huh? I lived in Barca when the Huns and Chelsea came and smashed up the city. Well, there you go. We don't talk about that though. The council made more than 34 grand in tax spent in Glasgow that night. Yeah, yes. The money that was spent in Glasgow, people staying in hotels that were over for the game, people that were over to see the Celtic game. There was lots of people that were tourists that come over from Ireland and down south that all stay in hotels for the night. And there's a lot of money made. Anyway, you hear Baz. That's what we expect from zombies riots. Exactly. Ultras from Watford, Baz, is our favourite postcard to keep up with. Ultras from Watford. Waterford. Well, there you go. I bet they're not even a drop glass when they drunk to it. Yeah, Masons wouldn't let the council shut down the streets, Baz. Yeah. Let's jump through C. Stupid rumour season, says Scott Howie. Yes, it is. Edward, probably 80 grand a week. There's no way we're going for Edward. We need to leave these stupid rumours. And I noticed there's another Celtic news channel spouting that we were going to get this keeper and that keeper. And when you look back his channel from the last couple of seasons, he's made outrageous predictions just to get. I mean, folk come on here and stop with the clickbait shit. But then it comes off my channel and then they go on and then they comment on another channel that is as clickbait as you can get. Anyway, that's fucking just YouTube for you. It's a laugh. Anyway, John, how are you this evening? For fuck's sake, Santa came from the North Pole to see the game. He did. Santa came all the way for the North Pole and he never had his reindeer. There was no reindeer in sight. See, he's an animal lover. He's probably fucking vegan. He's probably fucking vegan. That's why he didn't bring this. Oh, it is Tuesday. He's on about 60 grand, no chance. No, he's not. Eddie coming back is nonsense, says Paul Baird. Yes, let's put to bed right now the ones that are complete nonsense. French Eddie coming back to Celtic, not a chance. Fraser Foster coming back to Celtic, not a fucking chance. Not a chance. He's a year younger than what our current keeper is. Which person in their right mind is going to click on a news story that says, yeah, Fraser Foster's coming back to Celtic? No, he's not. If he comes back to Celtic, I'll give this channel away to someone for free. He's not coming back to Celtic. If Celtic go down that route, they're selling us short. They're selling us short. Don't worry about a thing, cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Anyway, don't worry. And ho ho ho, 3 in a row. His socks was empty, says Kevin. He only brought the one present, and that was the title. Santa dropped off a load of loan players for Sevco for next season. Ooh, possibly, but would you take Eddie back? No, nah. He's never done it for the last couple of seasons. Why would you take a player that? Let's be honest, right? Let's be honest here. What has he done over the last couple of seasons? What has he done over the last couple of seasons? Absolutely nada. What has Adam Ida done this season? He helped us win the league. Why would you go for a player that's done absolutely nothing over the last couple of seasons and let's not beat around the bush and go to a younger player? And you've got to think of the business side of it from Celtic, the business model. They're not going to buy back. They're not going to take a player back that they're not going to be able to sell on again. You got your ticket, you got your big payday once at French Eddie. You're not going to get it again. You could buy Adam Ida, and you could maybe turn him into a 15 to 20 million pound player, maybe, right? With a good bit of training over the next couple of years. You might get some club down south to go, do you know what? He's actually all right. He played at Norwich and he never really got a chance at Norwich. He's been scoring goals for fun for Celtic. Maybe a Southampton or something like that will come in and take him for 10 to 15 million. So you're going to make about 10 million on Adam Ida. That's the way that you have to think about it. Stop listening to these click. And I'm all for people having a say and all the rest of it, but it's clickbait nonsense. It's not happening. You know, it's not happening. And if it is, it's crazy. But it's looking unlikely we can get Adam either permanent. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. Of course, look. It's headlines again. Adam Ida's going back to Norwich. Breaking news: Mikey Johnston's coming back to Celtic. So said Haksabanovic. You don't see that in headlines, do you? Fucking said Haksabanovic coming back to Celtic. Mikey Johnston's coming back to Celtic. No, you don't, do you? You didn't see that. Oh man, you just don't see these headlines. So stop taking this narrative, right? And that's absolutely bonkers. And yeah, let's just focus on facts. Let's just focus on facts. And as far as I'm concerned, there's absolutely no chance that Celtic will go for any of those players. I just don't think it. So, in other Celtic news tonight, apart from somebody being offended, Stephen Welsh, remember him? Mr. Chocolate, I'm going to call him. Stephen Welsh has dismissed rumours of joining former manager Neil Lennon at Rapid Bucharest. But he is back and ready to fight for a position at the club. Congratulations to Neil Lennon, first of all, for getting a job in Romania at a time where there's hundreds of Romanians running about Europe, pickpocketing, pickpocketing and thieving and everything else around about Europe, people trafficking and things like that. Good luck to Neil Lennon. Make sure you zip up your pockets when you're there. No offence to anybody in Romania. And there was a guy who owned a bar down in a place near where I stayed, and he used to say, I'm okay. He's Romanian, but he's okay. He used to say that. Anyway, good luck to Neil Lennon. But Neil Lennon has said, Welsh has said, Stephen Welsh is saying that he doesn't plan to leave Celtic and join him. Remember, Stephen Welsh was just given that new contract. He was given his first team debut by Neil Lennon 4 years ago. But Welsh, he's never going to be a fantastic first team player, is he? He's a squad player, and that's all it is. He was given that new contract at the beginning of this season, and then he got injured. No disrespect to the Welsh here. He's a cracking guy. He's punching above his weight with his misses. A bit like the one and only player that's worth 25 million. If you've seen his video, if you've seen the video I did the afternoon, you'd see the picture of his misses at the end of it. Whew. Anyway, Welsh still reckons that he'll continue his Celtic career. Look, he's at Celtic to go through the homegrown status and European quota for all competitions. That is it. But it's interesting that he has come out and said. And the other news is that he's also coming back to fitness. He is coming back to fitness. So he'll be in contention. Stephen Welsh, there was fears when he got injured. He always seems to get injured, just always. But he's back on the training pitch, supposedly. He did take part in a training session tomorrow. He takes part in a training session. Noel Rocky is another one in that position who played the full game against St Mirren. Look, let's not even talk about the players that started the game on Saturday for the final league game of the season will not be the players that start this game on Saturday against that lot. It'll be our strongest squad. It will be, I mean, you can name the team just now. You can name it. It's going to be Cameron Carter-Vickers. It's going to be Scales. It's going to be Greg Taylor. It's going to be Alistair Johnston. It'll be Callum McGregor, Rio Hitati, and Matt O'Reilly in midfield, with Dyson Maida and James Forrest on the wing. Yes, I'm tipping James Forrest to start on the wing again. And then it'll be Kyogo up front. That's your team for Saturday. Everyone knows it. You could do the old one. I ken it, you ken it, even Patsy kens it. I love it when folk go, Patsy kens it. What the fuck are you on about? It's just, it's a joke. Just the Anyway, let's jump in back to the comments. Stephen Welsh is never Celtic class. Katie Baz, what happened with the Lager Belke, Rogers and Phil? Coma missed. Gustav seemed all right, Kay, at the beginning of the season, but the manager decided it wasn't good enough for Celtic and told him to leave the club, told him to find another club. And he did that. His agent did that. But because Cameron Carter-Vickers got injured the week before the end of the transfer window, Lager Belke was on his way to the airport and he was given the phone call by Celtic. Sorry, lad, you're not going. Tammy's injured again. And that put paid to his move to Italy, which he was looking forward to. So he'll be one that leaves in the summer. We've got plenty of time. I feel sorry for the lad. When he scored in the Champions League, I thought as a young player, he's maybe one that could come good at Celtic. But the manager obviously has other thoughts. And in the manager, we have to trust. Brits out Scotland. Well, that will never happen because they own half of it. I start Santa instead of Welsh. Well, he's probably got... He's probably got bigger sacks with a title in it, but then again, Welsh has got a couple of titles, so yeah. Let's move on. John Kelter says 100% agree. I have no idea what to agree on because I fucking forgot what I've said now. They'll make 150 quid profit from a £3 million player. Who will? Carly's in the house. Harley. Let's have a chat. Our prophet of doom for the season. Fucking mosquitoes. Bastard. Kill the fucker. Our prophet of doom for the season. It turned out alright, didn't it? Even the women's football team won. Know what? None of your negativity this week. You've done well. Anyway, hope you're good. Anyway, Mark says Glasgow Council are bitter because they're all Huns. Yep. Glasgow Celtic champions. Ernest says, yep. This land is your land. Cheers, Baz. Went under my radar. Seemed a bit harsh on him. Yeah, it did. I think the whole... the Saturday's team, Baz. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's the team. That's the team, John. That is the team for Saturday. Whether it is our strongest team, it's the team that will annihilate them. Is that a zombie behind you, Baz? Shadow. You know what it is? It's probably the reflection. Probably the reflection of because it's getting dark outside. I need to sort out the light. And Stephen, can he watch that women's Celtic team? Oh, come on. I'm not even going to read the rest of that out, Stephen. That's no right. That's not right at all. Move that light there. That's not right. You can't be saying things like that. Right, let me see what other Celtic news is kicking about. Honest Celtic fans priced out of the Scottish Cup final. We spoke about this before, didn't we? I spoke about this weeks and weeks ago. Celtic fans who are desperate to watch the Scottish Cup final at Hampden are facing an alarming hurdle as third-party ticket sales release sites have drastically inflated the prices. There have been tickets sold for £485, some going up to as much as 5,000. Absolutely unbelievable. I did talk about this a couple of weeks ago with these ticket sites, and I think it's ridiculous that Celtic do sell to companies that maybe supply people, tourists and that tickets, but I just think it's ridiculous. Anyway, Aidan Vassen breaks his transfer Celtic decision to emotional I'm not even going to go down that road. Free transfer now, looking to sign. Celtic now looking to sign a 60 grand a week player. God, who is it? Well, then tell me which one it is. You've got about 10 goalkeepers. You would need to take a pay cut. Nobody's taking a massive pay cut to come to Celtic. Not the way that Joe Hart did. I mean, Joe Hart took a massive, massive pay cut to come to Celtic. A keeper in his prime isn't he going to jump for 66 grand a week down to 15 grand a week to come to Celtic? Celtic need to get their shit sorted. Attracted to two women as God had intended. Where did that music come from? You hear that? That was spooky. Oh, it's an advert. I'm going to click it off. That was a bit weird. I hate it when websites do that. I hate it when YouTube does it as well. It's a pain in the arse, isn't it? Postecoglou Euro 2024 gig revealed in BBC versus ITV battle. Oh, God. Postecoglou is going to play for the telly. Punditry duties. Oh, fuck's sake. Yeah. Fraser Forster, ideal Joe Hart replacement as Celtic urged to make. No, don't. Do not go for Fraser. Look, if Ange Postecoglou, right, think about this sensibly, right? Sensibly. If Ange Postecoglou wants rid of Fraser Forster, he's not good enough for Ange. Why would Ange go and take a goalkeeper from them years ago, right? And the fact that he'd had 75 England caps. This is why I'm thinking this is a no goer, right? Joe Hart had 75 England caps. Think about why he came to Celtic and why the manager, why he wanted him to have him at the club, right? He'd won 75 England caps. He'd played at the highest league for Manchester City. He'd played at the highest league in Europe, right? Never mind world football. He had that experience. He had that older head, right? He had that, let me put my arm around the younger players and coach them through a game and the mindset of what goes on in the game. And he's been fantastic at that. Fraser Forster was given the opportunity to stay at Celtic for the 10. He turned it down. He turned it down. And some people want him back. Really? Do you know what? Fuck it. Get rid of the managers. Stop the bus Lenny and let's get Lenny back as manager. The actual mindset of some of our fans and this romance that, Fraser Forster was good years ago. Yeah, and it was about 10 years. It wasn't 10 years ago, but, it was years ago that he played for Celtic. He's done nothing since. Go and tell me what Fraser Forster's done since then. Please, someone. I mean, it's like, what real good has he done since then? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Foster talk all down to the video that he was on last week. Of course he's going to turn around and say, I had a great time at Celtic and all the rest of it. Everyone says that. Look, you had a striker at Celtic years ago that left Celtic and wanted to go down to a team in England because he wanted to get into the English team. His career pittered out. He was an absolutely fantastic striker for Celtic. But he got a bit above himself. He thought, I'm going to go down to England, I'm going to get a game for an English team and I'll get into the English national side. Didn't happen. Never happened. And you wouldn't go back and get him back. He's just retiring. So let's just stop all the nonsense. Celtic have got the cash to pay Fraser Forster demands 4-year contract. What? Why would you give Fraser Forster a 4-year contract? He's a year younger than Joe Hart. Yeah, Gary Hooper, that's what I'm talking about. Why would you give Fraser Forster a 4-year contract? That video is circulating for a reason. Yeah, because it's a player talking about his time at Celtic. That's it. That is it. And because there's a lot of people want to try and get ahead and say that they broke the news story first. Hooper you're talking about. Yeah, it is Paul Baird. Carly, if Fraser Forster comes back on a 4-year contract, I'll give this channel to you. Anyway. And you'll hate to sit on this side and do the talking. The Crow talk bollocks. Joe Hart was shit until he signed for us. He didn't get cult status until Christmas this year. He didn't get cult status until he decided that he was leaving. Let's be real, right. Let's get the romance of the Joe Hart stuff out the way. Let's get out. See every one of you that are saying, "Oh, Joe Hart and Carly, you're one too busy. You're one. People have been saying for years, we need a goalkeeper, we need a left back, we need a centre mid, and we need a striker. And that's fact. That's fact. Thousands and thousands of Celtic fans have been saying that for years. But all of a sudden, Joe Hart's a hero because as soon as he announced he was retiring, he played he played his heart out. He made sure that he wanted to go out a winner, and he helped motivate the team to get over the line. But for a couple of seasons, people were like, "Nah, Joe Hart's a nightmare. Joe Hart's a nightmare." When he passes the ball out to the side, when he rolls that ball out to the side to Cameron Carter-Vickers or Liam Scales, it gives me the fear. This is still things that people were saying. Look, he's a class man, he's a class person, right? And he's a good guy. But let's not butter over the facts of how Celtic fans actually felt about him over the last couple of seasons. They were crying out for a new goalkeeper, and they've been still crying out for him. Anyway, Crow Talks, that was hilarious. I'm absolutely pissing my pants in that comment. Stephen, is the new strip out yet? No, don't think so. Well, now we need two keepers, said Paul Bear. Yeah, we do need two keepers, and it is the Celtic way. It is the Celtic way that we will need two goalkeepers, and so be it. So be it. It's been quite a good evening so far. We have been on for 31 minutes. There's been over 1,021 views, and there's currently 252. That's just dropped. 248 views. Anyway, that's what you're on about, man. I was talking about Fraser. 7-year contract for the Great Wall. 7-year contract? You've been smoking crack. You've been smoking crack. Anyway, I can hear a youngster crying. It's probably because of my dulcet tones. So, with that being said, I will be back with the Celtic news tomorrow morning. I don't know if I'm going to do a lunchtime video tomorrow, but I will be back tomorrow evening if all is good. It is the last day of having some family over, and then it'll be back to normal. Back to normal once the family's away. He's 207. No weed. Smoking the weed. Smoking. Do you smoke at all? Do you smoke at all? Only fifers will get that. Do you smoke at all? And on that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening to every single Celtic fan all around the world.